Alright you guys, today is the day I am officially starting Shatter Me. These are the 4 books that I have. I don't know anything about the reading order. All I know is that there are a ton of books, a ton of novellas. I don't know if this is the right order. I know that this is the first book, and I know that this book is 2 novellas in 1. That's all I know. I know there's a lot more. I only bought these ones to start. Over the next 2 months, we are going to be reading the Shatter Me series. I've never read a fantasy book in my life. All of my friends that are readers have read the Shatter Me series, and they have all been telling me I need to read it. Maddie's exact words were, "Nobody likes Erin Warren at the start, but you probably will because you're weird." This is gonna be spoilers. The whole point of this reading vlog is to share my thoughts. So if you are planning on reading the Shatter Me series, this probably isn't for you. Okay, ready? First page, you open the book. "You can't touch me," I whisper. "I'm lying," is what I don't tell him. "He can touch me," is what I'll never tell him. "Please touch me," is what I want to tell him. Bad things happen when people touch me. Strange things. Bad things. Dead things. I can't remember the warmth of any kind of embrace. My arms ache from the inescapable ice of isolation. My own mother couldn't hold me in her arms. My father couldn't warm my frozen hands. I live in a world of nothing. Hello, world, you will forget me. What? Okay, she just got a cellmate, and it says they locked me up with a boy. A boy. Dear God, they're trying to kill me. They've done it on purpose. To torture me. To torment me. To keep me from sleeping through the night ever again. His arms are tatted up, half sleeves to his elbows. His eyebrows missing a ring they must have confiscated. Dark blue eyes, dark brown hair, sharp jawline, strong, lean frame. Gorgeous, dangerous, terrifying, horrible. Lock me up with this man. So he took her bed. She's sleeping on the floor, but she's not sleeping. She stayed awake all night. And she says, "I will not sleep. I cannot sleep. I cannot hear those screams again." I'm on chapter 2. I have this rule where I always make myself read 50 pages in one sitting for the first few times I'm reading a book. Update, I'm on page 7, and she says, "He reminds me of someone I used to know," but it's crossed out, which is telling me that she did used to know him. I just saw what this says. I immediately turned my camera on. He just touched her. He literally just touched her. She's talking about birds and how she's always wanted to see birds, and she's talking about how she'll see a bird today. And then his hand on me. 2 tips of 2 fingers grazed my cloth-covered shoulder for less than a second, and every muscle, every tendon in my body is fraught with tension that clenches my spine. I don't move. I don't breathe. Maybe if I don't move, this feeling will last forever. Why is this not Erin? Okay, I'm on page 17, and they just showered and all that stuff, and it's actually so sad. No one told me that this book was actually really sad. He gives her both his blankets. He's "I'm sorry I'm such an asshole. He doesn't touch me. I'm disappointed. Happy he doesn't. I wish he would. He shouldn't. No one should ever touch me. I'm Adam," he says slowly. Who is Adam? There's literally a whole page dedicated to her saying that she's not insane, and then crossing it out, and then saying that she's not insane once. Okay, you guys, I'm on page 36, and she just says, "I've been lying to myself, determined to deny the impossible. I know him, I know him, I know him, I know him." So I was right. She knows him. I'm still mad it's not Erin. I don't know anything about Erin. I don't even know if Erin actually exists. But I've never heard of this Adam guy that's suddenly here. I did read this part, and it actually struck something in me. I underlined it all. Basically about how the soldiers are walking outside of her window. She's "They don't understand the freedom and feeling the universe on their skin. They don't care. I wish I could stuff my mouth full of raindrops and fill my pockets full of snow. Wish I could trace the veins in a fallen leaf and feel the wind pinch my nose." And it was just such a good quote about how we are literally experiencing things that some people are dying to experience, and we experience them every day and act as if they're nothing. I'm on page 45. So much just happened. Okay, so she's talking to him. He goes to touch her. She freaks out. She's "You can't touch me." He's "What if I want to?" She's "What if I don't want you to?" All this stuff. They're not speaking, right? Then all of a sudden these people with guns come in and they're like, arms up or we'll shoot you, all this stuff. She doesn't move. And I think it's because like she kind of wants to die because like she's sick of living like this. Now she's in this room and I have another prediction that Aaron Warner is going to be one of like the government people. That's my prediction. At first I thought he was going to be the person that was like in the room with her, but that's Adam, whoever that is. So I think Aaron is the person in the room with her right now because she says, "Follow me." The guard's voice is thick and deep, his gray eyes unreadable. He looks about 25 years old, blonde hair, cropped close to the crown, shirt sleeves rolled up to his shoulders, military tattoos snaking up his forearms just like Adam's. Wait. Wait. Oh god, no. Adam steps into a doorway beside the blonde and gestures with his weapon toward a narrow hallway. Move? Adam is pointing a gun at my chest. Adam is pointing a gun at my chest. Adam is pointing a gun at my chest. Wait. I'm so confused. What is going on? This is Aaron Warner. I know we just met Aaron Warner and they haven't said it yet, but I know we met him. What's his name? Aaron something? I don't know. But it says, "The brightness is reduced to a level I'm able to tolerate. The imprint of a boot is stamped into my back, but no longer settled on my skin. I lift my head and look up. I'm immediately struck by his youth. He can't be much older than me. It's obvious he's in charge of something, though I have no idea what. His skin is flawless, unblemished, his jawline sharp and strong, his eyes the palest shade of emerald I've ever seen. He's beautiful. His crooked smile is calculated evil. He's sitting on what he imagines to be a throne, but is nothing more than a folding chair at the front of an empty room. His suit is perfectly pressed, his blonde hair expertly combed, his soldiers the ideal bodyguards. I hate him." Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What? Oh my gosh, so much is happening right now. "Sir," he says, "I should have known. I've heard rumors of soldiers living among the public in secret, reporting to the authorities if things seem suspicious. Everyday people disappeared. No one ever came back. His last..." I was right! It's Aaron! "His last name is etched into the lapel. Warner." Adam says nothing. He doesn't look in my direction. Guys, this book is literally crazy. What is going on? Alright, so like a lot of weird stuff is going on in this society. She just got to this place where basically Adam has to like stay and watch her, which is like crazy tension. The only part that she's not on camera is in the bathroom, and she's currently getting ready to go have dinner with Aaron, who everyone's calling Warner. And let me just say, everyone's hyping up Aaron, and all my friends are like, "You're gonna love Aaron." I literally can't stand him right now. And I text my friend, and she's like, "That's normal. Everyone hates him in the first few books." But like, he's so insufferable. Like, it's actually bothering me. This is like part of the reason I never read fantasy, is because I just can't stand the world building. Like, the past 15 pages have all been like world building, and it's so boring to me. Like, I don't care. I don't know if anyone has like read the Shatter Me books and watched Vampire Diaries, but why is Warner kind of giving Klaus? Warren was like, "Don't confuse stupidity for bravery, love. I know you haven't eaten anything in days." And why am I imagining it in a British accent? Is Klaus British? I don't know. I'm imagining it in the Klaus accent. No, this is so sad. "Don't." I hold up a tentative hand, pleading with my eyes, staring into the face of an innocent man. "Please don't." My voice breaks. "You don't want to touch me." "I never said I did." Jenkins' voice is deep and steady, full of regret. "Jenkins has no gloves, no protection, no preparation, no possible defense. I feel alive. I wish it hurt me. I wish it maimed me. I wish it repulsed me. I wish I hated the potent force wrapping itself around my skeleton, but I don't. My skin is pulsing with someone else's life, and I don't hate it. I hate myself for enjoying it." Warner is literally evil. Hi guys. Okay, so I've been reading quite a bit throughout the day, and I'm on page 166, chapter 26. I was at school, so I couldn't like film my reactions or anything, but basically what's happened so far is like she is kind of adjusting to this new place. She still definitely hates it, but she's there. Adam and her, I think, are in like a relationship. I am not sure, but they're kind of cute, I guess. And then Warner locked her in this room with like this little boy, and he made her save him, but like kill him. And then she launched through this concrete wall. It was crazy. Warner also has this like obsession with her that Adam's telling her about. Adam's like, he's been researching you for years. Like, he knows everything about you. Oh, also when she was attacking Warner, everyone had like guns to her back, and Warner was like, no, don't do it. Like, don't shoot her. Oh, and he took the cameras out of her room that she shares with Adam. It's giving me mega Klaus vibes, Klaus and Caroline. If you guys watch Vampire Diaries, this is literally Vampire Diaries. But yeah, I'm gonna continue reading because it's really good. And all day, and whenever I wasn't reading, I was thinking about reading. All right, as an update, Adam just told Juliet that he's in love with her. And also they're planning to like sneak out right now. Adam and Juliet were like, I don't know what was going on, but something was happening between them. And then all of a sudden they get this like code 7. It means like a security breach or something. And then Warner comes in and he finds the notebook that Adam brought for Juliet. Holy crap, you guys. So much just happened. I'm on page 185 and Adam was the one pointing the gun at Warner, and then Juliet ends up like taking Warner's gun and she's like pointing it at him, and then basically Adam like climbs out the window down a rope, and then Juliet goes after him, and that's when Warner figures out that Adam can touch Juliet. And then after Juliet goes down the rope, she says this: I take a deep breath and hope Warner doesn't realize what just happened. I hope he doesn't know he just touched my leg and nothing happened. Adam is being a little bit sussy. He's being kind of suspicious, and everything's just like too perfect. Like, it's like Adam's been planning this, and I'm kind of like confused. Like, I don't know. And like right before Juliet left, Warner was like, trust me, like, don't go with him, like, he's lying to you, like, saying all this stuff. And I feel like Warner was telling the truth. Like, even Juliet is saying like, prepared to run, to escape. I wonder why. So I'm getting some sus vibes from Adam, but I kind of like him, so I hope he's not gonna do her dirty, but I have a feeling he is. Okay, so an update on my book. I'm on page 237. I don't remember the last time I updated you guys, but Adam brought her to where his brother is, James, and basically his brother lives like in this row of orphans, and he's talking about how like the government can't track him. And then this guy named Kenji, he shows up with a bullet in his back, and he's like, please help me, all this stuff. And Adam's like, no, I don't trust you. You guys, what just happened? They were waiting for James to come home from school, and then James gets there, they're ready to leave, and then all of a sudden soldiers come rushing in and like they're shooting at them, but they obviously can't kill Juliet. Adam ends up being like, okay, Kenji and James, like, stay here. Juliet and I are gonna find a car. They go, they're being shot at, all this stuff. They find a car. I mean, just read it. He kicks open the doors and we stumble out onto the street. There are 3 cars to choose from. I'm so happy I could cry. It's about time, he says, but it's not Adam who says it. So it was Warner. Juliet, did you notice? Isn't it incredible? Did you notice when you tried to escape? Did you feel it? I'm immune from your gift. So he knows that he touched Juliet's leg and nothing happened. Okay, so she just shot Warner. Basically, Warner's like, when he realized that she could touch him, he was like, oh, we have to be together. Like, I love you. And they were like making out, and then like she was like doing it to get to his gun so that she could shoot him, which like low-key girl boss. Okay guys, I'm on page 290. A lot has happened. Juliet eventually found Adam again after she shot Warner, and he was like tied up and he was like gonna die. And then she got him out of there. They found a car, picked up Kenji and James again, and then they got taken to like this facility, and I don't really know what's going on right now, but she's about to meet this person named Castle. Juliet just met Castle, who's like the leader of this like Omega group. He's basically telling her about how society can be saved and like everything's going bad because the government is making it go bad, or like the reestablishment. She says, hope for a future that seems lost, inspiration in a bleak world with nothing to offer. He's a natural leader. I have a hard time believing him. Alright you guys, I just finished the book. The ending was like kind of anticlimactic, but it was still really good. I'm really tired. I think it's like 2 in the morning or something like that. So I'm gonna go to bed, but I did finish it, and then I'll talk about my thoughts tomorrow. So book 1 is complete. Obviously the first book that I read was Shatter Me. I gave Shatter Me 5 stars. I immediately fell in love with this book. I think I was like 50 pages in and I was like, I get the hype. I was literally obsessed with Adam and Juliet. I thought that they were so cute. I know that Aaron Warner is like heavily talked about, but the whole time reading this, I was just like, who cares about Aaron? Adam's obviously the better choice. The whole time I was just really obsessing over their little relationship. I really enjoyed this book. I did feel like the ending was very rushed compared to the rest of it. And I feel like obviously we know that there's another book. If I had just read this book, I would not have given it 5 stars. It was only because I knew another book was coming that I was like, okay, the ending's fine. Very action-packed. It kept me on my toes. I just felt very like invested. I think I read this in less than a day or 2 days. I'm not really sure. I do not like Warner, but I know that we get his perspective in the next book, so I'm super excited to read that. Okay, you guys are currently balancing on a bunch of pillows, but it's the next day. I just started Destroy Me. I'm literally on chapter 3. Like, I did not read much. Yeah, I'm on page 12, but this is only 100 pages, so I literally have like 90 pages left. And I'm probably just gonna sit here and like get through it super quickly so I can start the second book. But yeah, this is in Warner's perspective, and it picks up a little bit before the book ends. So it picks up like right after he wakes up from being shot. I'm really excited to hear his perspective because I feel like he's gonna be a character that we love like eventually, so. Alright, I'm on chapter 6, and I think Warner is hallucinating Juliet being in the room with him because he's like, they've come to kill me and all this stuff, and obviously he doesn't freaking die. And I don't think Juliet is actually back with him. I know she's not, so I think he's hallucinating. Okay, so he woke up from his dream of Juliet, and then his father is in his room. And it actually is crazy because you start to like sympathize with Warner because you hear like what his father says. Like the guy that Warner shot in the forehead right in front of Juliet in the first book, I think his name's like Fletcher or something. We all think like that's brutal enough, and then his dad comes in, he's like, why didn't you kill his whole family? And he's like disappointed. Like he's like, why wouldn't you like, he's like, you're such a disappointment, you didn't kill the whole family. Like, what? So it definitely like gives you some perspective on like what Warner's had to deal with his whole life. And then also his dad like was like choking him. Warner was just talking about Juliet, and this paragraph is actually like kind of really cute. Funny how accustomed I'd become to visiting her here, how it gave me a strange sense of comfort to know that she and I were living in the same building. Her presence on base changed everything for me. The week she spent here became the first I ever enjoyed living in these quarters. I looked forward to her temper, her tantrums, her ridiculous arguments. I wanted her to yell at me. I would have congratulated her had she ever slapped me in the face. I was always pushing her, toying with her emotions. I wanted to meet the real girl trapped behind the fear. I wanted her to finally break free of her own carefully constructed restraints. It's like kind of cute. Like he like likes her, but like I don't like him. I could never tell anyone I developed a newfound fascination with her. I had to affect a pretense, an outward indifference, an arrogance toward her. She was to be our weapon and nothing more, just an innovative instrument of torture, a detail I cared very little about. My research had led me to her files by pure accident, coincidence. I did not seek her out in search of a weapon. I never had. Far before I'd ever seen her on film, and far, far before I ever spoke a word to her, I had been researching something else. Utilizing her as a weapon was a story I fed to my father. I needed an excuse to have access to her, to gain the necessary clearance to study her files. It was a charade I was forced to maintain in front of my soldiers and the hundreds of cameras that monitor my existence. I did not bring her on base to exploit her ability, and I certainly did not expect to fall for her in the process. But these truths and my real motivations will be buried with me. You guys, I just got such an ick from Aaron. He's like, I've been training my whole life. Like, I've been working on my physical and mental like ability and like all this stuff. He's like, I stand at 5 feet 9 inches. Ew, why is he short? Bro, how is he like controlling this whole society and he's 5'9"? And he admits it. Like, he's proud of it. He's like, yeah, I'm 5'9". And then he meets this dog, and he actually does a really humane thing and like feeds the dog, which I was like, okay, I don't even care anymore because you were nice to the dog. And then he thinks he sees Juliet, and then he thinks he's going crazy. But I have a feeling he actually did see Juliet. That's my theory. I feel like he actually did see her. This book has both novellas in it, but I'm just gonna like separate them. The first novella is called Destroy Me, and I gave this 4 stars. It's not that I didn't like it, it's just I can't really give a book that's like 100 pages 5 stars because you don't really have time to like grasp it enough. I really liked that Warner's dad picked up on the fact that he was interested in Juliet. I thought that that was a really like creative way to let the audience know like how serious Warner and Juliet's relationship, or at least Warner's infatuation with Juliet is. I thought it was interesting that he started having dreams about her, and I think I said this while I was reading it, but he even had like hallucinations of her, and I think one of them wasn't a hallucination, so I'm very excited to see in the next book if we hear about that. All in all, I really liked getting Warner's backstory, but it did kind of make me like up and down because I was so team Adam, and then I kind of was like, I don't hate Warner, so it was kind of frustrating in that aspect, but I like Destroy Me. Alright you guys, it's the next day. I am officially starting Unravel Me. I don't know what to expect. I'm kind of like, the novella was good, but it's kind of frustrating because it made me like confused, if that makes sense. Juliet's talking about how now she's in Omega, and she's like, I expected to be happier, stronger, lighter, but she's like, I feel the same. Alright guys, it's much later, and I'm finally picking the book back up. I'm on page 38. I'm like, I don't know what it is, but this book is just boring. Like, I don't know, it just feels really repetitive, but I talked to everyone who's already read this, and they're like, yeah, the second book sucks. Like, you just have to get through it, and then all the other books are so good. So I'm going to trust them on that, because right now it's looking a little boring. I feel like with Shatter Me, I just could not wait to pick it back up, and this book kind of feels like I'm forcing myself to. But I'm going to try to get at least, like, to page 100. I mean, I want to get, like, a substantial amount read. Okay, I'm on page 64, and basically Juliet just like broke the ground with her fist because she saw Adam on this table with a bunch of wires in him, and he was like screaming in agony, and she was like, this is what they've been doing to him every day, this is why he's acting weird, like all this stuff. And then Castle, who I never liked him, he comes out and he's like, this is what we have to do to succeed and all this stuff. She's like, you're no different from Warner. And then like she slams her fist into the ground and actually like shatters the ground, and then like her hand is like bleeding. I don't even know. Okay, so Juliet just woke up after being asleep for 3 days because she was so exhausted from literally splitting the earth in two. When she wakes up, Sonia and Sarah, the healers, are there, and then Kenji's there, and basically Kenji just gives her like the biggest reality check, and he's like, you need to get your shit together. Like, it's been 2 weeks, you've done nothing, you have not made an effort, you sit and cry around. He's like, we all have problems. And I like really like him because I love when people bring delusional people to reality. It needs to happen more often. Also guys, I kind of miss Warner. Like, I kind of miss him. I miss him being like a main character. Like, we literally have had not one interaction with Warner so far. I miss him. And the book is picking up. It is getting better. So much just happened. Basically, Juliet kind of just made a little friendship pact with Sonia and Sarah, the two healers, which is kind of cute because in Destroy Me, from Warner's perspective, when he was reading her journal, she was talking about how like the one thing she's always wanted was a friend. So it's like kind of full circle to see her like make the friends. But they take her back to her room where Castle and Adam are, and Castle basically tells her that Adam and Castle have been working to find what Adam's superpower is. His superpower is that he like disables things, so he disables other people's powers. But when he gets comfortable around people, he kind of stops. So it's stopping when he's around Juliet, and he doesn't know how to control it anymore. And Juliet like flips out. Like, she's actually schizo. Like, I don't know what is wrong with this girl. Well, she was locked away for a year, so I have to give her that credit. But she like overreacts so much, it actually is pissing me off. But she's like, I can't take it anymore, like I have to be with him. And then she's like, we can't be together, like I can't be with you, like I can't kill you, all this stuff. And then Adam's like, no, like please, like I love you, like I want to be with you. I don't know what is going through this girl's head, but she literally just finds out that her boyfriend can't touch her because he's gonna die, and she's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna kiss every inch of his body. And then at the end of the chapter, he can't breathe because her powers are working on him again. And she's shocked. It's like, girl, what the hell is wrong with you? Bro, Castle is actually so funny. He's telling them that they have to be the ones to go meet with Warner's dad because that's what the note said. Adam's like, this is BS. We should have a plan. We should have a distraction. We should have someone to give us an advantage. And then Castle like looks to Juliet and Adam's like, are you out of your mind? And then Castle's like, then no, we don't have anyone else that could do something so earth-shattering. Every time Juliet puts on this dang purple suit, everyone sits there and it's like, oh my gosh, you're so gorgeous. Like, Adam, literally the first book ended with her putting on the suit and Adam being like, you look so sexy in this. And right now, she's getting ready to go fight against Warner's dad or whoever's gonna be there, and she puts on this dang suit again, and Kenji is like, you're torturing him, like he can't touch you and you look like that, like you look so good. And all I'm imagining is like this like Oompa Loompa purple suit, and it's like so not sexy. I don't get the appeal of it, but maybe it's like a Wonder Woman type thing and it's just like purple. But I'm literally just picturing like Grape Girl. Warner is back. So Juliet just showed up to the house where Warner's dad sent her, and he's talking about how in all of Warner's life he's never asked his dad for a favor, and the one thing Warner ever asked him was to not kill Juliet. He was like, my son begged me, actually begged. He's never asked me for anything. He was like, I had to see like what was so appealing about you, and he was like, I didn't realize you were so beautiful. Also keep in mind, this man is like 50 years old, and he's like, I think I have to keep you, but you certainly will have to come back to the capital. I can't have you around my son. And then she's like, thanks for the offer, but I'd really rather jump off a cliff. And then he's like, son, would you come in here, please? And all I can think is that sometimes you're dying, sometimes you're about to explode, sometimes you're 6 feet under and you're searching for a window when someone pours lighter fluid in your hair and lights a match on your face. I feel my bones ignite. Warner is here. Guys, I actually missed Warner. I actually missed him. I feel like I'm not supposed to like him yet. Like, I feel like I'm supposed to still hate him, but I've kind of gotten over that. Like, I kind of like don't hate him at all. Seeing everything that happened with his dad, and then also like he saved the dog, guys. I can't hate him. He saved the dog. Warner's dad just was asking Juliet like how she escaped, and she's like, the first or second time. First time I jumped through a window. Second time I shot him. And then Warner's dad's like, you can't live. Like, I can't have this crazy girl on the loose. So he's like, I'm gonna shoot you. And then he's like, actually, Warner, you're gonna shoot her. Oh my gosh, Warner just pointed the gun at his father instead of Juliet. What? She just learned that his first name is Aaron. His dad says, point the gun in the right direction, Aaron. This is ridiculous. Aaron, I almost laugh in the middle of this insanity. Warner's first name is Aaron. Warner's dad finally is able to like speak, and he's like, you. And she goes, I shoot him in the leg. She's like, he's screaming. I think he's screaming. I can't really hear him. And then she's like, I decided I'd like to do it again. I shoot him in the other leg. There's so much screaming. And she's like, I want to tell him how I feel, but then I realize he's not worth it. I take aim at his chest, try to remember where the heart is. Not quite to the left, not quite in the center. Just there. Perfect. Chapter ends. Juliet has been tasked with interrogating Warner, and she goes in for the second day, and he's sleeping in nothing but his boxers, and she goes to grab her notebook, and she sees his back, and there's a tattoo, and it says Ignite, and then there's scars all over his back, and she's like, his entire back is a map of pain. Also, it makes sense now why Warner and Adam are the only two people that can touch her, because they're brothers. And I wonder if James can touch her too. We just found out that James is also a healer. They're talking, and she's like, tell me what happened on your back. He's like, it doesn't matter. And then she's like, I don't hate you. I think I understand you sometimes. I really do. But just when I think I finally get you, you surprise me. And I never really know who you are or who you're going to be. But I know that I don't hate you anymore. I've tried. I've tried so hard because you've done so many terrible, terrible things to innocent people. To me. But I know too much about you now. I've seen too much. You're too human. His hair is so gold. His eyes are so green. His voice is tortured when he speaks. Are you saying that you want to be my friend? And then he smiles. Warner found out that his power is he can absorb other people's powers. So like if he's like with Kenji, he can be invisible. Or if he's with Juliet, he can earth shatter things. Like he can take other people's powers. I don't like this book anymore. They were literally making out, like crazy making out, and then she goes, Adam. Then he ends up like leaving and she's like, I won't see you again. And he's like, I certainly hope not. So they just captured Juliet and they took her to Anderson. Juliet just got shot in the chest. Anderson was talking to her and then he brought Warner in and he was like, son, I want you to watch what I should have done in the first place. And then he shoots her and then the chapter ends. The next book is Unravel Me, and this is kind of a chunker compared to the other book. To be honest, I didn't really have a lot of thoughts on this that I didn't say in the video. Honestly, this book I kind of liked more than I thought I would because everyone told me it was a bad book. And the first part of it was like very hard to get through and I felt like I was forcing myself. But once I got past the first part, I absolutely love this book and I flew through it. I really liked the plot. I am still torn between Adam and Warner. I gave this book 5 stars again. Alright, so I'm reading the second novella. I think it's called Fracture Me. And I was worried about reading this book because I finally was like, no, I like Warner. I like Warner more than I like Adam. And I was like, but I'm scared I'm going to read this novella and I'm going to like Adam more again. But it's not, because Adam's kind of pissing me off. Like, he's saying stuff like kind of bad about Juliet. Like, it's kind of weird. Like, he just makes these little comments. Like, he'll be like, oh, she's gotten cocky. Or, like, he was just talking about how when she hugged Kenji, he was like, little soon, don't you think? I was like, geez, her friend, like, almost died. And it wasn't even her that did it. It was Warner. I just don't like this. I don't like these little comments he's making. Juliet just asked Kenji and Adam. She was like, Warner, was he really that ruthless? And Adam's like, God, she's so obsessed with him. Like, I find myself getting jealous, which is ridiculous because she's not his type at all. What? Ew, I don't like him. I have like 5 pages left in this novella, but Adam is giving me literally the biggest ick ever. I wish we could have seen his perspective like 2 books ago, so that way I wouldn't like have liked him at all, because why is he annoying? And like, I will say, like, I understand where he's coming from because, like, Juliet did, like, crush his heart. But he's like, I don't even know if I want to go after her. Like, I don't even know if I want to be with her. Like, I don't know if I want to save her. Like, what? And, like, I get that he's worried about James because, like, that's his brother. And, like, yeah, his loyalty should lie there. But to sit there and be like, oh, I don't really know if I care about her is crazy. So, yeah, I'm officially, like, anti-Adam. I don't like Adam. Okay, the second novella is finished. It ended with Kenji coming in after a couple hours and being like, oh my gosh, Juliet is dead. And then Adam is like, oh my gosh, this is all my fault. Obviously, we know Juliet isn't dead because I just read her story and like Warner saves her because he's perfect and beautiful and amazing and kind and does nothing wrong. On to the second novella. This book literally made me hate Adam. Getting in his mind and hearing about how he thinks about Juliet literally made me hate him so much. The book kind of follows through the same timeline as Unravel Me did, but this is in Adam's perspective. And I didn't like that in Unravel Me he seemed so in love with her, and in this book we're getting his thoughts and he's like shit-talking her. I didn't like that. I hated that he refused to go after her. I was like, what are you doing? I do feel like this second novella was only written to villainize Adam to make us like Warner. I literally felt like it was just like to make readers more comfortable with the idea of Warner and Juliet, and it was like, this was literally just to make us hate Adam. It felt a little forced. I gave this a 3 stars. I didn't hate it, didn't love it. It was there. Okay, I'm currently reading the 3rd book. I'm on chapter 4, and Warner tells her like, oh, all your friends are dead. The battle's over. And then Adam at the end of his novella was told that Juliet is dead, but really they're both alive and they don't know it yet. Also, I was looking at this cover. I don't think you can tell because it's so dark, but look at the flowers, like the detail. Okay guys, it's been quite a while since I have updated. I've just been like reading when I can. I've been so busy the past week. I don't know if I said, but I am on the 3rd book, Ignite Me, and currently Juliet thinks that Adam and Kenji and all of them are dead, and then Adam and Kenji think that Juliet is dead. So they each think that the other is dead. Juliet and Warner are talking, and Juliet's learning that Warner is not as evil as she thought that he was. And I love it. Juliet and Warner just went back to where Omega Point used to be so that she could see that it was like really blown up. And then they see Kenji, so now they know that each other isn't dead. And then Warner's like, hey, you're gonna go off with them, but take this, and if you're not back in 4 hours, I'm gonna come get you. So I just can't wait for that. I love Juliet and Warner. I think I talked about this during the novella, but I'm like really not liking Adam. He's really getting on my nerves. Okay, it's much later, but I've literally just been reading, and Juliet and Adam are talking in the closet, and then it goes, my heart stops, starts, stops again. Warner is here. So it's been 4 hours, and Warner has just showed up. Okay, I'm on page 168, and Adam just went completely psycho on Juliet. The downfall of Adam needs to be studied because I actually hate him so much, and reading this is like breaking my heart because even though I like Juliet with Warner better, I still really liked Adam, and this is just like heartbreaking to read. Juliet was just clicking the pager a bunch, and then Warner rushes in the room. The front door flies open. Juliet! Juliet! I spin around. Warner is standing there, face flushed, chest rising and falling, staring at me like I might be a ghost. He strides across the room before I have a chance to say a word and cups my face with his hands, his eyes searching me. Are you okay? He's saying. God, are you okay? What happened? Are you all right? I love Warner. Juliet and Warner were just talking on the ride home, and she's like, I just want to tell you that I think you are a good person. Like, I don't think you're a monster. I don't think you're evil. Stop, guys. I love them together so much. And she's also been talking about like how she doesn't think that she really loved Adam and that he doesn't really love her because like you can't do that to someone that you love. Juliet is telling Warner about how Adam got mad at her because he thinks that she's in love with him, and Warner's like, and you told him he was an idiot. And she's like, no. And then he's like, then you told him he was crazy. You told him he had to be out of his mind to say something like that. She's like, no. Oh my gosh, you guys. I just read what I think is the best chapter in this whole entire series. So Juliet woke up in the middle of the night and she sees that Warner's office door is open, and she's like, oh my gosh, this is my time. I'm gonna go see him. I'm gonna see like what his office looks like all that stuff. So she goes in and he's in there with like this jar, and she grabs the jar and it's cream for the scars on his back. He's like, I don't want you to be repulsed by me. And she's like, have you seen yourself? Like, you're literally perfect. Like, what are you talking about? Then they get in like this fight, and he's like, because I love you. I love you, he says, his words harsh and soft all at once. I love you, and it isn't enough. I thought it would be enough, and I was wrong. I thought I could fight for you, and I was wrong because I can't even face you anymore. Tell me it isn't true. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm blind. Tell me you love me. But she doesn't say it to him. Okay, I'm currently reading in my car before my dentist appointment, but I'm on page 240, and she's talking about how she doesn't see Warner a lot anymore. And she goes, the only time I see Warner is when he works out in the morning, and then in the evenings when he does another round of cardio, and then at the end of the night when the 9 of us sit down and talk about our progress. And she goes, then Warner and I go back up to his quarters where we shower and head to separate rooms. I sleep in his bed, he sleeps on the couch in his office. It's the little things, guys. It's the little things. I love them so much, and I just need them to be together. But also I know once they're together, it's going to be like Elena and Damon. It's just gonna be fighting and it's gonna be horrible. So I just want this like banter for the rest of the series. That's what I'm hoping for. You know when like you love a TV show so much that the thought of it ending really kills you? So then when you get to like the last season or the last 2 seasons and they're really bad, you almost like it because it makes it easier to accept the fact that the show ended rather than going out on a good note. That's how I feel about her and Adam. I love that the author made it so easy for me to be Team Warner because I really loved Adam in the beginning. And now I'm like, ew, you're so disgusting and like weird and like, ew. The thought of Adam and Juliet makes me really sick. So it's so easy to be Team Warner. And I'm just really thankful that the author didn't make it like a hard goodbye or like a good ending to a TV show. Does that make sense? I don't know. Does anyone else think that way? Kenzie just told Juliet that Adam and James are coming to the location where they all are right now at Warner's base. So Juliet has to tell Adam what she just said. And I'm so excited to see the interaction with Juliet and Warner. And then Adam, like I'm so excited because I hate Adam. Ignite Me ignited me. Everyone talks about this book. Everyone says that this is the best book in the whole series. To be honest, I feel like I didn't really have any thoughts that other people don't say. I really liked this book. I really liked the tension between Juliet and Warner. I didn't like the way Adam talked to her. I thought it was very like out of touch and just weird and gross and I didn't like it. I gave this 4 stars. I think I was just so over reading Shatter Me at this point because I had read these books. Like, I had read all 5 of these books within like a week, and I was like flying through them. Then when I got to this book, I was kind of like forcing myself to read it, which is why I ultimately took a break from the Shatter Me series. But I still really liked it, and I would say this is like the best written book in the series, but it wasn't my personal favorite in the series so far. All right, you guys, that is the first 5 books, I guess you could say, in Shatter Me. Please let me know if you want a part 2. I have all the rest of the books, so I will definitely be reading them. Please let me know if you want more reading vlogs in the future because I absolutely loved doing this one. Overall, this series, I would say for me is a 5-star so far, 4.5 5-star series. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed the video.